All right. How we doing, champions? Are we doing amazing? This is one that I'm really excited about. I know that so many of you have reached out to me and you talk to me like, hey, we're really struggling right now. Can you help us with our money management? Can you help us with all that stuff? And to be honest with you, this is something that I didn't know that people really wanted. And so doing this video and this training and all this stuff, it made me very excited. The truth is that I get excited about money. I get excited about creating more. I get excited about having a freedom lifestyle because let's be honest, more money equals more freedom. And it doesn't mean like, oh, I get to buy the big fancy jet or I get to buy this fancy thing or I can drive a Mercedes. It's not about that for me. It's about having the freedom to live the lifestyle that I want, to be able to be the dad that I want, to spend time with my kids, to go to rodeos, to rope, to do all this stuff. Money is about freedom. That's really what it's all about. And so this beginning of this training is all about getting that mindset where it needs to be so that you can go and live that freedom lifestyle. So many of us have hangups about like money's hard to get, or I never have enough, or my parents taught me that money is just impossible to have. And so you have to scritch and save and just squeak every cent out of every dollar. And though there's nothing wrong with that, that mindset creates a place of lack. And I was there. That I was taught that there was never enough money to get through the month. So you had to squeeze and scrunch and save every bottle and save everything because, you never know, you might need that 10 years down the road. So if that's you too, I'm not bagging on you, but realize that money is all about a mindset. Money is all about getting your mind right so that you can go out and live more abundantly. And if you're a person that's been rooted in lack, like your parents didn't teach you about money or nobody taught you about money and it was super negative, like we're gonna have to get over that because your future that you deserve is rooted in financial security. So many times people are out there and they think that, hey, you know what? I'll make a bunch of money and then I'll be rich and it'll all be good and I'll live forever. But the truth is, making a bunch of money could be the worst thing that ever happens to you. Think about this. Most all lotto winners end up broke. So for example, the guy that wins $1 million, $2 million, $5 million, $10 million, most all of them at the end of 5 years are completely broke. Why is that? Why do you think that is? It's because they haven't been taught the rules and the systems of money. The money became their master, not their servant. And so coming through this training, it's going to be all about, hey, how can I become the master? How can I teach this to work for me, not me work for it? And saying that is going to be learn to do one of two things: money mindset and decreasing expenses. Money mindset is how do I feel about money? Do I believe I deserve money? Do I believe that money is gravitating towards me? The next step is how do I decrease my expenses and save for my future? And then the last part of this training is going to be how do I increase my income to live like a boss, to have the finances I need to chase my dreams, to chase my passion, to chase the future that I actually want, that I know I deserve. And that's the way I want you to think about it. You deserve it. You deserve to get that cash so that you can live the lifestyle you want. I want to say you're a champion. I want to say you're a boss. I want to say whatever it is that makes you motivated, but you're a winner because you're out there trying to grow, trying to get better. And I want you to go after it with the optimistic mindset. So without further ado, the first thing I want to tell you is that money is only a tool. Money is nothing more than a tool. You could look at it as like a hammer or a pair of pliers or anything. It's nothing more than a tool. Remember that money is out there to help you get from A to B. That is it. A is where I'm maybe at now. I'm stuck. I'm rooted in lack. There's never enough money to pay for the month. That's where I'm at now. But I want to get to B, which is freedom lifestyle, which is abundance, which is the ability to give and to share to others, to help other people get out of the hole as well. If you start to look at money as a tool, the power over it begins to dissipate. I grew up in a house of lack. I grew up in a place of not enough. So I was rooted in that almost depression mindset of there's never enough money. Why are the lights getting turned off again? Why do we not have any food? Why am I going hungry? Why do I have to go find meals at my friend's house? So that's where I came from. And some of you might have came from that as well. Some of you may not have come from that, and that's okay too. But we all have that place that we come from, and we all have that view of money. Just remember that money is only a tool. It's not there to enslave you. It's not there to instill fear. Oh my gosh, I don't have enough money. It's not there to rule your life. You are the champion. You are the one that rules over the money. And how do we do that? We recognize that it's just a tool. You're not scared of a hammer if it's not being thrown at you. You use the hammer and you build a home with it. You use the hammer and you drive the nail. We're not using it as a fear tactic. We're not scared of the hammer. The only time we're scared of the hammer is if it's being thrown at us by somebody who doesn't like us. Hope that never happens, by the way. I hope that never happens. But remember, money is a tool. How do you think about money? Are you scared? Are you nervous? Are you fearful? Do you maybe not want to talk about it because it brings up pain? How do you think about money? Do you think of it as a tool to create the freedom lifestyle that you want? Or do you think about it as something, oh no, I just want to sweep that under the rug because I don't want to think about that right now because it hurts, it's painful. How do you think about money? If it's not thought of as just a tool, then chances are it could be your ruler. And I don't want it to be your ruler. I want you to be a winner. I want you to be a champion. I want you to be someone who overcomes and goes and gets and creates more than you need so you can share with others. That's how we should look at money. Hey, do me a favor. If you like this video, let's you and me make a deal. Let's shake hands. Yeah, that good, firm cowboy handshake. If you like this video, do me a favor. Share it with somebody. Subscribe to the channel. And my end of the bargain, I will bring you everything I know about being a high performer, a world champion, and an entrepreneur. If that sounds like a fair deal, go and hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment too, because I'm going to answer every single comment that comes in on this video. The second thing is, the chances are if you're not financially secure, if you don't know a lot about money, it is not your fault, but it is your responsibility. So many of us, we weren't taught about money. We weren't taught on how to do this from our friends or our family, our parents. They were probably working their tail off just to put food on the table. The fact that maybe they didn't teach you about money it's not your fault, because they were working their tail off to just put food on the table, to give you the ability to go and chase your dreams as much as possible, to pay for college, to pay for all these things. And they weren't taught it by their parents. The depression mindset is very real, and it still is stuck in people's mindset today. To this very point, it's still stuck in people's heads. The depression mindset means, back in America in the late 20s into the 30s, I believe the crash was in 29, leading into the 30s and the 40s, people didn't have a lot. They scrinched, they saved, they reused nails, they did whatever they could to get by. And that mindset has been passed down from generation to generation. If you don't take a hold of that mindset and say, you know what, I'm not going to accept that depression mindset. My mindset is not going to be, how do I pay bills every month? My mindset is going to be, how do I create abundance so that I can help myself and my friends and my family and then serve a future that I am passionate about? It's up to you to create that. So the fact that maybe you don't know everything about money, and the fact that maybe it's painful, it's not your fault. I'm here to tell you that. It is not your fault, but it is your responsibility to learn, to grow, to get better. And that's really what you're doing right now on this video. You're learning, you're growing, you're getting better. You see, we will only get what we think we're worthy of. So for many years, I thought, I needed $30,000. If I had $30,000, I could pay all my bills and I would be stoked, $30,000. And I felt like $30,000 was all I needed. And I'm talking about for a big portion of my life. So 30,000 was the number. And I felt like I was worthy of $30,000. I thought that any more than that, I didn't really need it, but any less than that, I was like, oh no. So 30,000 was that number that I gravitated. What happened was, as my life grew and grew and grew, my expenses rose and rose and rose, and that 30,000 wasn't going as far as it needed to. And one day I woke up, I'm like, I got to change my mindset, my money mindset, and say, why do I only feel comfortable with 30 grand? Why do I have to have $30,000 only in my bank account to feel comfortable? To be honest with y'all, I would have 30,000, but I wasn't saving for my future. There was no college funds. There was no investing. There was no nothing else other than, hey, I want $30,000. That was it. That was my mindset. So when I got below it, I would hustle like heck. I would scrinch, I would save to get to 30. And when I got over 30, I get comfortable and complacent. So one day I was like, why don't I change my mindset and then see how I can make this number grow all the time? And that's where my position on money started to really grow. And my position on money, my belief in myself to change my money mindset really started to shift in that moment. I lived at 30K because that's what I thought I was worthy of. That's what I thought all I could ever want was 30K. But once I began to shift that up, that limit up, and take these limitations off myself, my money began to grow and grow and grow and grow. But realize that if you're not like financially literate, it's not your fault, but it is your responsibility to grow and to get better. So some resources, go out there and find resources. Dave Ramsey is an incredible resource as far as learning to grow your money and learning to pay off debt or bills or anything like that. Search Dave Ramsey on YouTube. Pick up some of his books, of which I have read some. They really helped me off. It's quite a while ago in my journey, probably like 15 years ago, but Dave Ramsey is incredible. The next thing I want to talk about in the money mindset is to recognize that people don't talk about money. People don't like to talk about money. And why do you think that is? Why do you not like to talk about money? Chances are you don't like to talk about money either. And if you do, more power to you. If you can do that and it doesn't hold any like thing over you, then incredible. But if you don't like to talk about money, number one, it's something that probably wasn't passed down from generation to generation. Your family didn't talk about money a whole lot, except for maybe the lack of. Number two, if you don't talk about money, a lot of times it's rooted in insecurity and fear. So why does that happen? Why do we allow money to be rooted in insecurity and fear? And people like to throw out, Bible verses that say, money's evil, it says in the Bible. And it's like, no, it doesn't say that money's evil. If you love it more than you love yourself, if you love it more than you love your family, if you love the money more than you love God, then it becomes to be evil. But you can't just cherry pick what you want, what fits your narrative in that moment. Your mindset on money should be, hey, I want to openly discuss this because I want to get over my problem. In TDX coaching or anything that I put out there, I am very open. I'm very open about what I put out there. I want other people to be very open about what they bring back, because if we open it up and we shed light on it, our money, then we can take the power away, right? We can take the power away once we open it up and shed light on it. And the truth is, if you keep sweeping it out of the rug, if you keep putting dirt over it, hoping nobody sees it, then the truth is it's going to be hard to get rid of that fear. It's going to be hard to get rid of that anxiety about money. We want to open it up. We want to talk about it. We say, hey, how can I get better today? How can I learn? Control our thoughts. Oh man, I just had a super negative thought. Like, I don't want to do this because I'm never going to earn another dollar. Oh, that's a negative thought. That doesn't serve me. Where does that come from? That comes from a place of insecurity that was taught to me in the past about money. Nope, I will not accept it. Boom, bam, kick it out, and then move forward. That was just an example of how I think about money. Our money should never be rooted in insecurity. Our money should never be rooted in that. I keep going over this because most of the time when families, friends, people don't talk about their money is because they're scared, because there's not enough. They don't know how to create more. They don't know how to get through the rest of the month when they have $50 in their checking account. And I'll be honest with you, there's a lot of folks out there that are incredible folks. They're great people, but they're trying to put on a facade to look like they've got it all figured out. They have all the things figured out. They got the fancy truck, the fancy trailer, the fancy this, the fancy that. And all of a sudden, they have no money, but it looks like they do. And they don't want to talk about that because, it shows maybe insecurity or weakness, because they want to present and put out into the world that have everything. And the truth is, they don't. A lot of people who look like they have the big fancy house or the big fancy truck or the big fancy trailer or all this stuff, they're only buying that to feed an insecurity that they have. They might be buying it to show you that they're a big shot or whatever. It's like the guys with the massive trucks and the big tires that floor their truck everywhere. And they, it's like, whoa, what are you trying to cover up? Or the guy that always has to have, or the girl that always has to have like the Gucci bag. It's got to be Gucci. No, who cares about that stuff? I truly do not care about any of that stuff. I care about having the finances I want and not living in fear so that I can provide for my family, my friends, and my charities. My goal is to give away more than I would pay somebody in a salary a year. And that's one of my goals. And so by being able to give it away, it takes the power away from it that it has over me. But remember that people don't talk about it. So in saying that, if you don't talk about money to your kids or to your friends, maybe you should. Maybe you should start conversations. Be like, hey, what are you doing to earn some extra money? Like, what are you doing to get over this problem that you have? Well, then you can talk about it. You can share about it. You can throw them ideas off each other. And pretty soon it takes its power away. Talk about money. Don't be scared of it. Talk about it in all aspects, how to save it, how to create more of it. Talk about saving for the future. What are you investing in, right? You can ask friends, all these things, but do not be scared of money. Money is here to serve you, not here to enslave you. And if you're a person who's struggling with getting the momentum and getting the ball rolling, I have something amazing for you. It's called the Cowboy Challenge. Down in the description below, I want you to accept the challenge, the Cowboy Challenge, to give you momentum, to give you resiliency, to give you mental toughness, to go on and chase life. And you can check that out. There's also a ton of free stuff in the description below. The next one is money makes you more of who you already are. If you're an individual that's out there is like, man, when I get some money, I'm gonna get a massive house and I'm gonna get a big truck and I'm gonna get a big trailer and I'm gonna buy all these things. And then you're like, man, I don't know why they're driving around in that old piece of junk. Like, money makes you who you are. That's the truth. If you're maybe not a good person, or you're a little bit stuck up or whatever, when you get more money, it will only get more magnified. If you have a kind heart and you're a good person and you like helping people, when you get more money, you're going to help them more. You're going to be able to pay off somebody else's college fund. You're going to be able to help out more with your church. You're going to be able to help out more with your kids. You're going to be able to help out more with all these things. Now, helping somebody out and giving somebody a handout are two separate things. Myself, when I want to help somebody with money, I try to help somebody who really is working hard and doing it the right way, and things just haven't worked out for them. I rarely ever will hand money out to somebody begging. Now, I'm not judging anybody. I'm not judging anybody for the way that they operate, but I want to help somebody who wants to help themselves. So as you begin to create more money, think about, hey, how can I help this person? How can I help this family member? How can I help this other person that I just love? Or how can I help out this lady who is just a single mother that is working her tail into the ground and still struggling? Because I think, when you get to that point where you have money to do that, again, the power of money comes off of you. But remember, money makes you more of who you actually are. So if you have some underlying negative things about you that you need to shift, let's work on it now, not after we get money. People think, hey, when I get money, then I will save. No, you need to save before you get money. Save with what little you have. If you honor what little you have, when you have a lot, you'll be greatly honored. You'll be greatly successful. I remember one time I had about $4,000 to my name, and I was out rodeoing all over the place. I mean, I was going from this rodeo to that rodeo to this rodeo to that. I was going all over the place, and I felt a need. I decided I was going to go up to this Christian ministry, and I wanted to give them $500. I was not a Christian at this point. And the reason I wanted to do this is because I was so worried about the amount of money I had. I had $4,000, which is not a lot when you're professional rodeoing. $4,000 will last you about 10 days, probably, if you're rodeoing super hard. But at the end of the time, I was like, I am so worried about this money. I need to do something to take away this nervousness that I have about money. And so I'm just going to go give $500 away. And so I walked up, I gave this ministry $500. Granted, I was not a Christian. It wasn't a tithe. It wasn't anything. I was simply doing it to be able to take the power away from me. And guess what happened? The next week, I went and won like a pile. I won a pile. Now, I'm not saying every time you give money away, you're going to get it in tenfold. I'm just saying that sometimes you need to give it away so you take the power of it over you away. And when you get more money, it becomes easier to be able to do that. But rewinding all the way back is like, if you honor a little, you will be honored with a lot. If you're trusted with a little, you will be greatly magnified and trusted with a lot. That means if you make $100 a month, but you treat that $100 like diligent and you put it the places it needs to go, then when you get $10,000 and even $100,000, $1 million, you're going to be able to manage it so much better. You understand where I'm coming from? Don't think that you have to have it all figured out, because I don't have it all figured out. I'm a work in progress like every single one of you. I have some things figured out, and I've done very well for myself financially, but I don't have it all figured out. I'm still learning. I'm a work in progress, and so are you. And that's incredible. But do me a favor and realize that when you make more money, it's just going to make you more of who you actually are. You say, that person changed when they got money. That person changed. Well, no, that was really who they were the whole time. It just got magnified because they made a little cash. On to the next one. And this is the one that I love. And I shared with you a little bit of what my goal, like in this current moment, is about money. But the more you have, the more you can give. My main goal for my giving is to be able to give $100,000 plus away a year and not feel it at all. That's my main goal. Right now, I try to give enough to pay a person's salary in a year's time. And where do I give to? I give to my church. I give to charity. I give to a lot of different places. I give to individuals at times. But the main thing is, when I give, I want to make sure that that reaps a reward. Not for me, but for that person. If you give to somebody and they turn around and they're drinking alcohol and they're smoking cigarettes and they're doing drugs, don't give to that person because that person is not worthy of you giving. I think we've all at one point or another given to somebody and felt like we got taken advantage of. Has that ever happened to you? I think it probably has. I know it has for me. I'm actually one of those type of individuals who give and give and give and give. And then only after the fact be like, I'm trying to help so much. I'm trying to give and I'm trying to help out, but I don't feel like it's doing anything. Like it's just getting washed down the drain. That's the natural Tyson. But the reconstructed Tyson that says, hey, I want to give and I want to see an impact. I want to give and I want to see people change their lives. I want to see people grow and then go and help other people. So at the end of the day, the more you have, the more you can give. Boom. The more you have, the more you can give. But be structured in the way that you give. And I know a lot of you guys out there and girls are out there like, I don't even have $5 to give away. And that's okay. Start with giving something. Give $1. Give $5. Give $10. The way that I give is I try to give to where it makes me feel uncomfortable a little bit. If I'm not giving and it's not making me feel uncomfortable a little bit, then I feel like money has power over me. I remember the first time I wrote like a 5-figure check. So that's like $10,000 plus to give it. Just give it away. I was like, oh, man, this is a lot of money. I didn't really like giving it away. I was like, that's how it felt to me. Coming from the depression mindset, that was trying to take over me. It was trying to give me a little bit of fear, like, what if you need that, right? What if you need this? And I don't like that control over me one bit. My mindset is, hey, how can I go create more and bless more people? That's the only way that I look at it. How can I bless more people? How can I add more value to somebody else's life? And the more you have, the more you can give. And actually, to be honest with you, giving feels very good. I love giving to children organizations. I love giving to cancer research centers. I love giving to these places where I know my money is actually going somewhere good because it makes me feel like I'm helping people. Who doesn't like to help somebody? I know that you love to help people as well. And so at the end of the day, it's like, how can I bless somebody else's life with what little that the good Lord and my hard work has gotten me to? How can I bless? How can you bless? How can you give? How can you give $1? How can you give $5? Giving is a habit, much like waking up in the morning. If you get in the habit of giving a little bit here and there and there and there and there, pretty soon giving $1, giving $2, giving $3, giving $5, giving $500, it doesn't seem like it takes control over you and bothers you that much. Realize that money is nothing more than a tool. It's a mindset. How do I use this tool to create more? And I would ask you to question your belief about money. What do you feel? What do you feel about money? How do you look at money? Are you scared? Did your family never talk about it? Does it create fear? Does it create anxiety? Or do you feel good about it? It's like, I don't mind sharing about my money. I don't mind sharing about how I invest. I don't mind sharing about what I do to go to the next level in my finances. And some people just don't talk about it because they're like, oh, if people think I have a little bit, they're going to try to steal it from me. Again, that is a money mindset rooted in fear and lack. One of my mentors is worth tens of millions, actually hundreds of millions of dollars, right? I work with this guy, and it's a little bit of a side note, but the one thing that I love about him is that I can ask him any question. How much do you save? How much do you keep in the bank? How do you do that? He's like, there is nothing off limits with him. It's all public source. Now, I pay him to coach me a lot of money, but it's not like he's like, I'm not going to give that to you. And don't be that way with your money. You don't have to go out and blurt it to the whole world. You don't have to be out there just pushing it and telling everybody how much you have or anything. No, not that. But don't be afraid to talk about it. Talk about it with your friends. Talk about it with your family. Talk about it with your kids. Ask them how they invest if it's somebody that's bigger and better than you on the financial standpoint. Don't be afraid to talk about money, because opening up that wound allows it to grow, allows it to heal, allows it to get much better. So I hope you learned a few things. At least if you can take a couple things out of this, you can apply it to your own personal finances, your own system, the way you view it, the way you look at it. Because the way you look at it is going to dictate how you grow and you create it. Because again, it's about decreasing expenses. It's about increasing income. The two actually working together to create a trajectory up of more money in the bank account, because we need that money to create the freedom lifestyle to be able to go and chase our dreams, whatever it is for you, whether it's riding horses, whether it's rodeoing, whatever it is creating that freedom lifestyle that you can create to give your family the security that they need, or your friends, or yourself. It's about the freedom lifestyle. So start by working on your brain and saying, how can I get better? How can I look at money? How can I shift my mindset on money? That way I am the master and it is the slave. My only goal for this video is to add value to your life. And guess what? If I add value to your life, do me a favor, like, subscribe, and share this video. And also, go ahead and leave a comment below. If you think this video rocks, let me know. If you have a topic that you want me to cover another video on, leave it in the comments below. These videos are made to make you better. So I want to serve you at the highest level. And guess what? If you want to watch another amazing video, check this one out right here. I know that it will serve your life. Take care. Adios.